Order number 9, the committee report of the committee on appointment on vetting of Mandela County Public Service Board member nominee.
Leader of majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this county assembly adopts the reports.
Yes, Honorable Yaqub, what is? Yeah. Okay, you are heard. Other honorable members, please get back to your seat. Honorable Yaqub, please drink your water, then cover your mouth. Let us proceed. Order honorable member. Order minority leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think minority leader, you have to make use of the mask. That's why you have taken it. So it's not for BT. Mr. Speaker, I wish to move a motion that this county assembly adopts the report, the report of Committee on Appointments on Vetting of Mandera County Service, Public Service Board member nominee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the report of the committee, and I wish to go through it. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 187-4, the Committee on Appointment hereby presents the report on the vetting of nominee for Mandera County Public Service Board member, Mandera County. The mandate of this committee it derives its mandate from the provision of Constitution of Kenya, County Government Act 2012, Public Appointments, County Assemblies Approval Act number 5 of 2017, as well as Mandera County Assembly Standing Order number 187. The membership of this committee, Mr. Speaker, include Hon Mohammed Adan Khalif, chairperson, Hon Abdi Adan Ali, member, Hon Jumali Abdi Hassan, member, Hon Abdi Rashid Maalim Osman, member, Honorable Alima Below, member, and Honorable Isaac Dahir. Powers of this committee, Mr. Speaker, it derives its power from Standing Order number 187-4, Section 12 of Public Appointment Acts, County Assemblies Approval Act, number 5 of 2017, which is to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information.
Order, honorable majority. Please, you sit where the members are designated to be seated. You can proceed, honorable majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, number 2, for the purpose of subsection 1, the committee shall have the same powers as the High Court to enforce attendance of witness and examine them on oath of affirmation or otherwise compel the production of documents and issue a commission or request to examine witness abroad. Any person who is summoned by the committee and who disobeys any order made by the committee for attendance or production of papers, books, or documents, gives false or misleading information, or refuses to be examined before or to answer any relevant question put by the committee, commits an offense and shall be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 200,000 shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year or both. Adoption of the report. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to provision of Section 58(1)(b)(3) and 4 of the County Government Act 2012, Section 9(2) of the Public Appointment Acts and County Assemblies Approval Act number 5 of 2017, Mandera County Assembly Standing Order number 187-4, we, the members of the Committee on Appointment, do hereby adopt this report on vetting of Mandera County Service Public Service Board member and affix our signatures to confirm its accuracy, validity, and authenticity on today. That was Monday 8th June 2020. You can see. Acknowledgement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee wishes to thank the Office of the Speaker and the clerk for the support they accorded the committee throughout the voting process. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all members of the committee for their input and valuable contributions during the deliberations and vetting of the member. Further, the committee appreciates all other stakeholders who participated in the approval hearing on behalf of the Committee on Appointments and pursuant to Section 9(1) of the Public Appointment and County Assemblies Approval Act number 5 of 2017 and provisions of Standing Order number 187. It is my pleasure and duty to present to the County Assembly the committee's report on vetting of the nominee for appointment to the position of board member, Mandera County Public Service Board. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have background information there, Mr. Speaker. I know members have copies of this report. The Committee on Appointment is established, I think that one. Appointment process, we can go to appointment process. His Excellency, the Governor of Mandera County forwarded to the office of the Clerk of the County Assembly the name of the nominee for board member, Mandera County Public Service Board, via a letter dated 21st April 2020, RIF number MCG, MCA, Govern GOV 2020-009, in accordance with Section 58 of the County Government Act 2012 for consideration and approval of the nominee by the County Assembly. 1. Halima Dair Abdi, ID number 8760022, female, board member. The Governor explained that one of the board members, Mr. Mohammed Aliyo Isaac, ID number 8760448, declined the offer of appointment despite giving him sufficient time to clear with his employer, the Ministry of Education. He further stated that he found it necessary to replace him with a nominee who is among the applicants who did the interview for the same position, and the selection was based on community of interest. Mr. Speaker, on 29 April 2020, the Honorable Speaker, in a communication from the Chair, notified the County Assembly that His Excellency the Governor submitted to his office the name of one nominee, board member of Mandera County Public Service Board, pursuant to Section 58 of Mandera County Government Act 2012. The notification of nomination was thereafter referred to the Committee on Appointments, pursuant to provision of Section 7(1) of the Public Appointments, County Assembly Approval Act number 5 of 2017, and Standing Order number 187.4 for vetting and reporting to the County Assembly in accordance with Section 9. Procedure used to arrive at the appointment of the nominee. On July 25, 2019, the Clerk of Mandera County Assembly made a communication to the County Secretary through letter RIF MCA CSGN Volume 1072 on the issue of consideration on the procedure used to arrive for shortlisting and selection of nominees. Any constitutional or statutory requirement relating to the office in question and the suitability of the nominees for appointments proposed, the nominee for the appointment proposed, having regard to whether the nominee's credentials, abilities, experience, and qualities meet the needs of the body to which the nomination is being met, as per Section 8 of the Public Appointments County Assembly Approval Act, number 5 of 2017. The County Assembly through letter to the County Assembly dated 29th July, RIF that provided documentation on the procedure used in shortlisting. Board member, Mandera County Public Service Board, as follows. The vacant position of the board member was advertised on February 29th, 2019 on national newspaper. The list of all shortlisted candidates for the position of the board members, Mandera County Public Service Board, provided the criteria used in selecting successful candidates for the position of board members, Mandera County Public Service Board, which includes be a citizen, holder of first degree, master's degree is an added advantage, at least 5 years experience, requirement of Chapter 6, gender, marginalized special group, performance and merit, pass mark of 60%. The panel interviewing committee recommended, Mr. Speaker, the appointment of the 5 nominees out of 23 candidates who were interviewed based on the qualification, experience, and consideration of marginalized group, gender, and compliance to the Constitution. Number 4, the Committee on Appointment observed that the nominee was among the 23 candidates interviewed and submitted to the County Assembly. Therefore, she was picked from the list as replacement for Mohammed Aliyo Isaac, who resigned from his position as Mandera County Public Service Board member. Notification to the public. and submission of memoranda, Mr. Speaker, the County Assembly did an advertisement on the Standard newspaper on 27th May 2020 in accordance with Section 7(4) and 5 of the Public Appointment County Assembly's Approval Act number 5 of 2017 and Section 58, 1B, 2, 3, 4 of the County Government Act 2012, Mandera County Assembly Standing Order number 187. The nominee was required to appear before the Committee on Appointment on Thursday, 4th June 2020 in Committee Room 1 as specified. In compliance with the National Government's COVID-19, the committee invited views regarding the suitability of the nominee from the members of the public, stakeholders, and other interested groups only in form of written memoranda accompanied by an affidavit addressed to the office of the clerk of the County Assembly of Mandera, PO Box that 408 Mandera, or through the email of the clerk on or before Wednesday, June 3rd, 2020. Clearance requirement, Mr. Speaker. I think you can see the clearance requirement. This has been cleared in compliance with Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission circular. The County Assembly did write to all required offices, and they did reply, and no office has objected her documents. Mr. Speaker, committee meetings. The committee held 5 meetings in total, with 2 planning meetings prior to the vetting of the nominee, the vetting, and 2 meetings to compile this report. Mr. Speaker, approval hearing. Mr. Speaker, approval hearing. The nominee appeared before the committee and was vetted in accordance with the provisions of Article 185, 195, and 106 of the Constitution of Kenya, Section 58, 1B, and 2, 3, and 4 of the County Government Act 2012 and Public Appointments County Assembly's Approval Act number 5 of 2017 and Mandera County Assembly Standing Order number 187. Below is the venue, date, and time the nominee appeared. You can see Alima Dair Abdi, ID number that, female, board member, Committee Room 1. Criteria for vetting. In undertaking the vetting exercise, the Committee on Appointment applied requirements, procedures as indicated below. That is the Constitution, County Government Act. And then, Mr. Speaker, I think we can, background information, if you go to page 14, we have background information of the nominee. She holds bachelor's education degree from Kampala University, diploma in early childhood, Between College certificate in primary teachers education, Sanzu Teachers College, Elwak Girls Secondary School, and Mandera, and Elwak DB Primary. Employment record is there, course she attended, Mr. Speaker. And then the approval hearing of the nominee, Mr. Speaker, and the questions we ask are also written there. And Mr. Speaker, I want us to go to the observation, since all the other things, Mr. Speaker, is there. Observation, committee's observation. The committee, having considered the nominee's CV and had her oral submission during the vetting, made the following observations: that she is a resident of Mandera County and hails from Mandera South Sub-County, that prior to her nomination she was served as an ECD trainer in Narok Sub-County, that she has a bachelor degree in early childhood education from Kampala University, which is a prerequisite requirement for appointment to this position as provided for in Section 58(3)(d)(1) of the County Government's Act number 17 of 2012, that she has work experience with Teacher Service Commission for 25 years with Narok County Government and has 11 years experience in administration and management, that she has provided requirements on clearance by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Self-Declaration, Directorate of Criminal Investigation Clearance, Kenya Revenue Authority on Tax Compliance, Higher Education Loans Board, clearance certificate from CRB, and the clearance from Commission for University Education. That she has exhibited good knowledge of issues touching on the position she was nominated for, that she portrayed good communication skills, that she has good understanding of functions of the County Public Service Board and other entities in the county government. She has never been dismissed from office for contraventions of provision of Article 75 of the Constitution of Kenya. The nominee's bachelor's certificate has been verified and authenticated by Kampala University. As per the provision of Public Appointment and County Assembly's Approval Act Number 5 of 2017, second schedule, the nominee scored a mini score of 71%. That her nomination is positive direction towards achievement of gender mainstreaming. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, recommendation, having conducted the approval hearing for the nominee and pursuant to the provisions of Section 9(2) of the Public Appointment County Assembly's Approval Act Number 5 of 2017 and Mandera County Assembly Standing Order Number 187-4, the committee recommends that this County Assembly approves the appointment of Halima Dair Abdi as a member of Mandera County Public Service Board member. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have vetted as a committee this madam, and we are satisfied as a committee that she can serve in Mandera County Public Service Board member, and she is a great asset, Mr. Speaker. She has been working in Narok Sub-County when she left here, and right now she said she's very happy to come back and serve the people of Mandera County. Mr. Speaker, she's experienced and she's the bona fide resident of this county. Mr. Speaker, I request this Honorable House to approve her for that position. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask Honorable Sokorei to second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I would like to thank the Committee of Appointment for coming up with a good report. Mr. Speaker, I want to say a few words on Madam Halima, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Madam Halima hails from Mandera Sub-County. She is a very hard-working teacher. Mr. Speaker, she is a humble person and a very pious madam, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Madam Halima taught me while I was in primary. And Mr. Speaker, she's really a role model to most of us, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, during my days when I was in primary, Mr. Speaker, we used to imitate her, even her walking style, the way she speaks, the way she walks. And Mr. Speaker, if I can be given with that opportunity, I can demonstrate. Mr. Speaker, there is a song that I can remember very well. That was a song in Giriama, and I remember it very well. If you allow me, I can also sing. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Speaker, Madam Halima has really nurtured most of us, especially those who are working now in Mandera County, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, she has an outstanding performance that also led her from becoming a teacher to a tutor, then to an ECD trainer, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and waiting to be now a board member, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Madam Halima has a working experience of more than 20 years, almost 28 years, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, she has also experience in administration and management, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, her nomination is a positive direction towards gender mainstreaming, Mr. Speaker. With that, Mr. Speaker, I second her.
Honorable members, I propose the question. I propose the adoption of the report of the Committee on Appointments on vetting of Mandera County Public Service Board member nominee Halima Daher Abdi. You can now debate on this report. Honorable Rafat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we have all heard how Halima Dahir and what she does and her experience, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a very important person to us today. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, as we have heard all the praise of our madam, and as an asset to us, we don't need to waste much time. We went to the House to approve, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Honorable Bishar Ali.
Mr. Speaker,
Use that mic, please, for record purposes.
Mr. Speaker, I would like first to take this opportunity and thank the Committee of Appointment for preparing a very good such report on this nominee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Halima Dahir Abdi, famously known as Halima Dai, has been a classmate of mine in Elwak DB. When I was standard 7, she was standard 4, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very exceptional lady. Mr. Speaker, the lady is married to my classmate from Form 1 to Form 4, Eno Gulia Alio, whom we have been the same boarding school in Wajir High School, Mr. Speaker, from 1981 to 84. Mr. Speaker, Halima Dai has been mentored by Eno Gulia. Eno Gulia is a very experienced educationist, now seated at TSC headquarters in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this lady has been the pioneers of Moi Girls Secondary School when it was first initiated in 1984. She was the first 4 months in that Harambe school in 1984. And she was the last bunch who did the CPE. And thereafter, in 1985, the KCP started, Mr. Speaker. She was also the last bunch who did the Form 4 KCE in 1987. Mr. Speaker, this lady has a vast experience. It's the order of nature that actually the nominee, the man that was nominated for this post in Mandera County Service Board, has voluntarily declined to take that position, and it's through God given that this position was meant for ladies. And it is through the will of God and through the government of County of Mandera that Halima Dahir Abdi was nominated, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the experience that was required is 5 times because this lady has a work experience of 25 years, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Halima Dai has a bachelor's degree from Kampala University, but when you see Kampala University, you know, you always doubt the integrity of that degree, but it has been verified from that university that this degree is authentic, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, without element of doubt, I would like to request the members, you just put to question because I know once Honorable Sharma Al-Abdullahi has just seconded and even contributed immensely about no doubt about the experience, the integrity, and the vast experience this lady has. Mr. Speaker, we are in short of words. We just put to question so that we approve the appointment of this lady, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, but allow other members to contribute their bit. Honorable Robo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the nominee. Mr. Speaker, according to the previous members who have spoken before me, my uncle, Honorable Bishar, has put it very clear that the nominee spouse was a classmate. Not only that, Mr. Speaker, they are in the same age bracket, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sokore and Majority Leader.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ahmed, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, these honorable members are so much dwelling on the age and the age set and the classmate and all these things. I don't know whether the age and being classmates
Please get back your seat.
or is part of the qualification, Mr. Speaker. I haven't finished. So I think the qualification for being given this position is very explicit. Majority Leader has so much elaborated it. I think you defend those qualifications instead of telling us you are the best maid or the best man. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to put very clear that age is a factor when vetting such kind of person in the assembly, Mr. Speaker, because if the lady is not above 50 years, then we are not vetting a small or an experienced person in the assembly, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, age is a factor to be considered, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Secretary, Honorable Majority Leader, Madam Tot Honorable Secretary, and later she became a colleague, Mr. Speaker. The same case for Majority Leader, who is also a teacher, Mr. Speaker. We don't require any more further elaboration on the nominee, but the previous or the members who are their colleagues can understand no better than this House, Mr. Speaker. We have no doubt for the suitability of the nominee, Mr. Speaker. I propose that the nominee is approved. However, Mr. Speaker, when we have resumed this House, Mr. Speaker, there are guidelines and protocols that has been set that, Mr. Speaker, honorable members above 55 years should be within the assembly. Mr. Speaker, the like of Honorable Kura, Honorable Dero, Honorable Rafat, Honorable Barigi, and Honorable Abdi Maalim Kumad should be within the assembly, Mr. Speaker.
Order,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Robo. Honorable Robo, you are out of order. You are out of order, Honorable Robo. I think, honorable members, Honorable Yusuf.
Thank you, Speaker.
Use that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the nominee on the report which is before the House. Mr. Speaker, honorable members who have spoken for me say they know the nominee. Despite that, Mr. Speaker, I have some reservations. If you go to BJ, Mr. Speaker, the governor explained that one of the Mandara County Board Service, Public Service Board member, Mr. Muhammad Ali, Isaac ID number of that, declined the offer of appointment despite giving him sufficient time to clear with his employee, the Ministry of Education. Mr. Speaker, there is no any evidence of withdrawal or any decline or resignation that shows that this particular nominee, the previous nominee that has declined this job. Mr. Speaker, and it is very vital for this report to be attached to such things so that this House be aware of whether that particular nominee, the previous nominee, has declined or not. That is one, Mr. Speaker. We go to, again, page 10. The committee, paragraph 5, in compliance with the national government directives on COVID-19, committee invited views regarding the stability of the nominee from members of the public stakeholders and further interest groups only in forms of written memorandum accompanied by affidavit addressed to the office of the clerk. Mr. Speaker, again, in this, the committee has not yet, whether there was any memorandum or not, they have not yet shown if whether in favor of the nominee or against the nominee, whether there was any memorandum. They have not yet indicated if there was in such things. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is very important for the committees to indicate such reports in future, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Yes, I support.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your observation. Honorable members, I now put the question. Okay, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the honorable members who have supported. I know they are all in support. And the issues raised by my friend, Honorable Yusuf Walungu Ward, no public petitions were received. As a committee, we never received any petition from any from any member of the public, Mr. Speaker. I want to clarify that. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the issue you said on the resignation or decline of offer, Mr. Speaker, the employer is the county government of Mandera, and the appointing authority is the governor of Mandera County. In his letter, he did indicate that Muhammad Ali Oisak, if you go to page 8, the governor explained that one member, Mr. Muhammad Ali Oisak, declined the offer of appointment. So it is not the assembly to receive his resignation, Mr. Speaker. It is the appointing authority. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I ask you to put the question. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question that the House adopt the report of the appointed committee on the vetting of Mandera County Public Service Board member nominee Halima Dahir Abdi. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.